Hello and welcome to the Club 12 podcast, the long-awaited return. It's been 2 years in the making, but we're finally back talking about all things Dundee FC. I'm your host Dave Kerr, and today I'm joined by my good old buddy Craig Fleming. How are you, Craig?
I'm good, thanks mate, good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You're absolutely welcome. It's good to have you as the first guest on the new and improved Club 12 podcast. You can't just nod your head, you've got to say something, man.
No, I'm delighted to be here.
No, right, okay, good.
In the living room.
Good stuff. Are you as delighted as Simon Murray is to be at Dens?
I don't think so.
No,
I think I'm delighted. It's a great signing. I think it's just what we needed. I think we could have really done with him last season. It would have really rounded things off, so I'm buzzing to see what he brings this year.
Good stuff. So, it's been a good start to the season. We're through the League Cup. We gave some teams some doing, so we gave Bonnyrigg 7, beat Arbroath 2-0, Arnhem 3-1, and we gave Inverness 6, which, to be honest with you, I'm so happy with that. I hate Inverness.
Yeah, Duncan Ferguson as well.
I like Duncan Ferguson. Funnily enough, for a Dundee fan, I actually like Duncan Ferguson. Good player.
Oh yeah, he was.
So we made it through, and it's been a barrel load of goals on the way as well. So during the course, we've got 5 for Simon Murray, 2 for new guy as well, Palmer Holden, which we'll come to, 3 for Curtis Main, 2 for Cameron, 2 for Portales, 1 for McCowan, and 1 for Ingram.
Yeah.
I think that's a bus going past.
I think it's a good spread of goals throughout the team. I think the fact that we were banging in the goals even before we got Simon and Murray kind of bodes well. You know, there's going to be a few different threats throughout the team, I think, and that's all we're wanting. We played good football last year, and you know, as naive as we were at the back, we needed somebody that was an absolute goal scorer. I think we're looking at somebody. I think it was about 9 or thereabouts was our top scorer last season. We need better than that, you know. And Simon Murray's 21 goals in the league last year for a team that finished second bottom. If he could be playing for a team that's sort of mid-table or further, then who knows what he could do. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, I think the goals that we were banging in the League Cup section were fantastic. We were dogged, we were determined, we fought for everything. We were making sure, because obviously last season we missed out on a goal against Airdrie.
Yeah.
Was it against Airdrie? But they went through anyway, didn't they?
That's right.
So that was good. So we've got some fresh players in as well. So I tell you what, I'm going to go through the players who have left the club.
Yeah.
Right. So the loan players, Owen Beck obviously, but then again I don't think he played much since he come back. When he come back the second time, he played a few games. Malachy Boateng, Aaron Donnelly, Owen Dodson, Michael Mellon, Dara Costello, Ryan Howley, Zach Robinson, Amadou Bakayoko. It's a good list of players there.
That's about the whole team.
Yeah. Will you miss any of them?
I think we may do. I mean, obviously Beck was a standout in the first half of last season. He really was a standout. I like to look at Dodson towards the end of the season as well.
I like Dodson.
I don't know if there's anything happening with Burnley this year where there's any scope to get any more players in, but if we are, it's leaving it awful late. I thought we might have heard something along those lines already. I don't know what the implications are with their relegation and things like that, but hopefully there will be something in the irons, you know, that we'll get a player or two in still.
You'd think they would still get at least a player from them, given the agreement that the clubs have got.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
It's still a good platform for some of their players to get experience on, you know.
Yeah. I see Zach Robinson's moved on to Motherwell.
He could be a good signing for them. I think he was really good for us in the Championship. I don't think he got a great chance in the Premiership. I mean, I know he had injuries and things like that, but I don't know if he was quite up to the Premiership. But then he'll probably go in and bang in a barrel load for Motherwell now. Make me eat my words.
Yeah.
It's the same as what Theo Bair done last year.
Exactly.
After being at St Johnstone, you know, he was pretty stinking for them.
So here's the list of players, permanent players who have left the club. Max Anderson, he's been at Crawley Town. Cammy Kerr, Zach Rudden, Lee Ashcroft, Sean Byrne, Tyler French, Jack Wilkie, and Diego Pineda. Wee Diego. Some good players there for us. I mean, I must admit, I liked Max Anderson, or as I call him, Killer Anderson.
Yeah. He's always liable to get a booking though, that's the only thing. I don't know if call it inexperience or not. I mean, there was no no shortage of effort or grit, but just a bit of naivety in his game sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Cammy Kerr as well, long time servant. He's off Queen's Park.
Yeah, great servant for the club, as I say. But again, if you want to do what's best for the club, I don't know if he's really quite got the credentials for the Premier League. I think he's a great Championship player, and he'll probably do amazing for Queen's Park. You know, best of luck to him anyway. Obviously, he's a Dundee supporter, and we should all wish him the best.
It means he'll probably get to play at Hampden a few times.
Oh yeah, well that's it.
You know, there'll be nobody there.
No.
But, you know, Lee Ashcroft as well. Sad to see him go because I like Lee Ashcroft. When he come in, he did a job, but he's just no for Doc. I don't think.
No, he's too injury prone as well. I mean, as you know, he scored a few important goals for us over the last few seasons he was here. You know, and when he was in the team, he was good. I just think he's too injury prone. But best of luck to him as well. You know.
Yeah.
I think they all go with our best wishes. Cause
Yeah,
they all
absolutely.
They all did us a good stint. You know.
Yep. You've got to think Cammy's going to come back in some kind of coaching capacity at some point in the near
Maybe
future.
in future, yeah, or some kind of ambassador for the club. He's the kind of guy that, you know what I mean, he's... although, it ended in tears for him. I saw his interview, that was quite heartfelt, and, it must have been quite hard for him to do, because it's been a part of his life since, he was 6 year old? I think, what is he now, 28?
Yep.
So it's a hell of a long time, and... as I say, he does go with everyone's best wishes, but you'd probably think he will come back in some capacity later on in life.
Right, so players in. Simon Murray from Ross County.
Brilliant.
Good signing. Clark Robertson from Ashdod, which sounds like they should be in England somewhere, but they're not. They're India. Is it India they are?
I believe so.
Yeah, but they sound like that sounds like somebody place just outside.
Apparently he's injured already though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, unfortunately, but hopefully he's not too long. Ethan Ingram from West Brom.
He looks good. He looks really good. I've been impressed with him. Let's see what he does against the Premier League opposition, but he's apparently he's well thought of. West Brom wanted to keep him, but he wanted to go out and get first team football elsewhere, so that shows quite a bit of ambition on his part.
He heard that Dundee were in
for the mighty Dundee.
He heard that Dundee were in for him and thought, I can't resist that. It's like,
I'm off.
Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Dundee, you're leaving, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Another good one as well, permanent transfer, or a permanent signing, John McCracken.
Yep. I've been impressed with him. As I say, a lot of people are still saying jury's out, but I think when he came in last season, he definitely steadied the ship. He's got one of the best kicks I've ever seen for a goalkeeper as well. He could plant it from 180-yard box into the other, no bother, from a dead ball. Amazing. I think we're going to score some goals off of that this year.
He seems to be good at planting it out wide as well. So quite a few times right on Ingram's head.
Yeah.
Or into his path. The one thing I didn't like though about the keeper this year, have you seen that pink strip?
It's awful.
It's bogging, is it?
It is. I'm not overly keen.
Maybe
it's there to put the opposition strikers off. They'll piss themselves laughing when they go clean through and go, what's that?
So this week it's on to league business, but before we come to the big game, how do you think we're going to fare up this season?
I think it's going to be hard to replicate what we did last year, but because you look at the teams that are in that league, you look at the top six, especially outside Rangers, Celtic and Hearts. We've got Kilmarnock, St Mirren and the mighty Dundee, and then put into that the teams that finished in the bottom six. They'll all be looking to have a better season. You've got United in the league now as well, so I think we'll be competitive in things, but I think we should be realistic about what we're expecting. I think mid-table would be reasonably successful, but Docherty will have other ideas in mind. He'll want to push them further and further. I think he's a great manager, but yeah, I think we'll do okay. I don't think we'll be in the relegation mix or anything like that, although that could easily happen to anybody. It's a good level, there's not a lot between the teams.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'd be quite happy being in the bottom six even through the course of the season, as long as you've got that wee safety gap of sort of 6 to 9, 10 points. Do you know what I mean? You kind of need that, and I think for us to get into the top six this season as well, I think again we need Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts to have poor seasons.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Do you think any of them might drop their guard and let us in?
It's hard to say. I mean,
St Mirren as well, obviously. Sorry, yeah.
St Mirren have been good the last couple of seasons. I've been really impressed with them. I mean, they are punching for the size of club they are and things like that. But I don't know where you can see Hibs and Aberdeen are going to have a great season this year after last. I mean, I think they're all living in the past. You know, really, all the teams are getting better and more professional across the board. So it's really competitive. You know.
Yeah. Quick talk about the title. Which side of Glasgow is it going to? And do you care?
I don't care. In actual fact.
Good. That's my favourite answer.
I think we could all do without them, but I don't know. I mean, obviously it depends how Rangers improve their squad, but I think Celtic, they've got the experience of. We've got some big players. Rodgers has been there and done it before. So yeah, my money would be on Celtic if I was a gambling man.
Well, I am a gambling man. I've put on my 56,500 to one accumulator for the bookies. See, the thing is with the Scottish Premiership is it is one or the other, right? And from a bookie's point of view or a betting point of view, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah,
putting them on.
It is.
Whichever one it is that you put on. So I've kind of left that. I think I can't remember if I'm honest with you. I need to go and check my coupon.
There's no way that anyone here is going to do a Leicester, for example, in Scotland. I mean, as much as you like to think that could happen, it's just never going to happen now. The golf's too big, and it's them that's caused it.
Yeah, well, I would agree with you. Who's your relegation candidates? Because I'll be straight up honest with you. Ross County are getting relegated. 3 reasons. They sold their centre half. Who was their captain? I can't remember his name. That's terrible. I actually looked at it earlier as well.
Yeah.
They sold their top striker, Simon Murray, to us.
Yep.
And they also signed Jack Hamilton.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper.
I think that's the worst of the 3.
He has got serious previous history for relegation.
Yeah.
I think, was he at Hearts when they got relegated?
I believe so.
I think he was at Hearts. He was certainly at us when we got relegated.
That's
he was
right.
part of the fucking problem.
I think so.
He was at Livy last season. As much as
guess what? They got relegated.
I didn't think he really played.
He played a few games. He did have a few games. I remember seeing him on Sports Scene a couple of times and thinking, oh my god, they're getting relegated.
Yeah.
They've signed Jack Hamilton. What I can't believe is that there you go. I think you said he left Hearts. This will be the 3rd or 4th team he's signed for since he's left Hearts. Now, who's looking at him and thinking, I need to sign a goalkeeper? Oh, Jack Hamilton, he's my man. So I can't understand anybody's logic unless there's been, there's something dodgy going on. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just good banter. Maybe he's good about the dressing room, but
Maybe
that's not really a reason to keep somebody playing at that level.
He's not the greatest at crosses, and his footwork's really bad, but tells a good joke on the bus and that. So,
so we'll get him in the first team.
Get him in the first team. Right.
Right. Okay. Let's come to the big business. Sunday, 4th of August, 1:30 at Tannadice Park. Dundee United versus the Mighty D's. Are you looking forward to it?
Definitely. I mean, it's the only fixture ever in my life where I've got butterflies all week before it.
Yeah.
And they're starting to come. It's only a few days away. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get a ticket in time, but no, I believe it's on Sky Sports.
Well, Sky Sports aren't paying me, so it probably is. You can still watch it there.
What about yourself? Did you get a ticket for the match?
I did. I managed to get tickets for me and the 3 boys.
Oh,
Jamie got, because you were only allowed 2 as well. So Jamie got tickets and I got tickets.
Good.
And it was a bit of a sweat, I'm not going to lie, because you got to then, so it basically puts you in this queuing system, right? And you get to the front of the queue and then it just kept bringing up an error.
Right.
So I clicked back instead of clicking refresh, because I thought if I refreshed it I'd lose my place in the queue.
Yeah.
And that seemed to kick it into life. And so I was like, boom, give me 2 tickets. There's your money, you greedy Arab bastards. Although to be fair, you pay to our club.
And what are they charging for tickets?
So it's £34 for an adult's ticket. I know. If the folk in here could see your face now.
Oh dear.
£34 to go to the piggery and £20 if you're a bairn.
That's steep.
Yeah.
That is really steep. I mean, for a game in Dundee, you know, whether it's a Dundee derby, you know, £34, and that's not even for one of the best seats.
It's restricted view.
Restricted view.
Restricted view. Yeah, so we're up in the Jerry Kerr stand, which I'm kind of hoping we're just above the dugouts, because I'm going to give Jim Badwin pelters.
Oh, I would as well.
Absolute pelters. How do you think we're going to fare in this encounter?
I don't like to call it because derbies are a different thing. You know what I mean? I think for the first time in years we have to be the favourites, and probably clearer favourites than what we ever have been, if at all.
Yeah.
Based on the season we had last year, the fact they've just come up, but then they could be looking at what we did last year and think, let's emulate the mighty Dundee FC.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, we're larger neighbours. You know, so who knows? I hope we murder them. Like, I'm hoping for a 7-2 or a 6-1, but we settle for a 4-0.
To be honest
But
with
I
you,
think it's going to be 2-2.
I'd take a 1-0.
Oh, so would I.
I would at this minute I'd take a 1-0. I mean, I'm expecting to play well.
Yeah.
And with no give up anything, and I think on that basis that'll probably give me the edge in it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm super excited for it. I think it's the first derby I've looked forward to this much.
Yeah. With confidence.
With confidence since probably when we had Caniggia.
That was a team.
Or I remember playing them one time when we had Tommy Coyne and Keith Wright, and there was no way we were getting beat that day.
No.
Remember the 3-1 at Tannadice?
Yeah.
There's no way we were getting beat that day. We were fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
So yeah, I think yeah, like I say, I'd settle for a 1-0, but I think we've got the capability to give them 2 or 3.
I think so as well, especially that we've got Simon Murray in there as well. What it would mean to him, the effort that he's going to put in. And we've got another few homegrown players in the squad still as well. Anyway, and, you know, Docherty's from the area. He knows what it's all about. He's played in a lot of pressure matches, so he should be able to keep them, you know, in a good sort of frame of mind for it. A massive game. It's probably a bigger game than most of these players have ever played in, to be fair. You know what I mean? It's you just hope that none of them freeze and that they all go out and show what they're about, especially on their backyard.
Yep. How do you think we're going to line up on Sunday, sort of formation wise? Because do you think we're going with the 2 up top?
It's a difficult one. It is a difficult one because even if you've not got the 2 up top, you've got guys in support like McCowan and Cameron that could, you know, play just behind. But you don't know if he's going to do that. Whether he's going to pack it with 5 in the midfield or make it a changeable 5-3-2, 3-5-2, or whatever the case may be. But we just didn't want to give them any time or space. You know, just show them what we're all about. If we concentrate on our capabilities, I think we should be too good for them. You know,
Yeah.
Whatever way we line up. But you know, I think that Finlay Robertson should get credit for his left back performances, but it's good to have a natural guy in, and I think that's going to help the balance of the team as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, did I mention that guy that we brought in? I'm not quite sure I did. Did I go through the loan signings? Anyway, the guy from QPR.
Yeah.
He's a left back. Do you
Yeah.
think he's going to replace Finn Robertson this weekend?
I would think so. Again, as I say, Robertson's done really well. I think the fact that he's 2-footed as well, he could probably play on either side. But again, he's not really full back anyway. You know, he's more of a midfield man, but he's not let us down. But I think having a natural left back in will help the balance of the team. And who knows whether that'll go for a 5 at the back or whether it'll be a 3 at the back. It'll change throughout the game. The modern game does, but I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I think we've got a good chance. I still didn't like making too many bold predictions before derbies.
I know. Because the thing is as well is you're right. Derbies, it doesn't matter who's the form team. It does kind of go out the window a wee bit.
It does.
But I think with the fact that the way we play, it gives us that bit of determinedness.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they've got that as well for winning the league last season. Maybe they've brought in a couple of Macedonian guys who they're all raving about.
Yeah.
But I've no seen anything. Not that I watch United, but you didn't really know until you see them, eh?
No, that's it. Dundee's supposed to be playing Luton Town in a friendly as well. I thought we were supposed to be playing them. United played them last week.
When's that happening?
Did that? I think we maybe missed that one, I don't know, but I'd heard that we were meant to be playing Luton Town as well, but didn't hear anything else about that.
Nah,
United drew 2-2 with them.
I'd never heard of that one either. I mean, we did pretty well in pre-season with friendlies. We were kind of unbeaten, although pre-season friendlies, fitness building, getting the team used to the way of playing, you can't take too much out of them, I guess.
You can't, but I think the size of the pre-season now, the size of the close season now, it's only a matter of a few weeks, so guys are not going away and coming back 7 or 8 weeks later out of condition, you know, the way they used to be, so they kind of hit the ground running, and I think you just see a fitness about them from the off these days, you know, so I think we're looking quite good, and I think the guys that we've brought in, they look like they're gelling in, so I think we're going to have a good season. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape. Fucking motorbikes. We must be able to pick that up, eh?
I think so.
If you guys could hear that just now, there's a cunt on a motorbike outside. It's nearly as bad as the guy on the bus. Anyway, yeah. So the season ahead, I think we're going to do pretty well. I think as long as, like I say, as long as we're comfortable and above that playoff place, I think we'll be alright. Yeah. I think we'll be good. I'd like to think that we'll push on for last season, but at the same time, that's what I'm happy with. That's my baseline.
I would say so. When you look at the teams that are in the league as well, it's quite an impressive finish where we did. You know, when you look at Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Kilmarnock, St Mirren, Dundee, and then some of these teams that are in the bottom six, as we say, it's, you know, you could say that we were punching, but we just looked really good and really well organised, and that says a lot about the manager we've got.
Yeah, definitely. So with the weeks ahead or the seasons ahead, what players are you expecting to shine for us? I mean, straight away I'm thinking Simon Murray.
Me as well.
However, at the same time,
Luke McCowan,
Mo Salah sitting in that hole is the linchpin of our team. Yeah. He's fantastic. I'm absolutely pumped that nobody come in for him.
Me as well.
Buzzing about that, because I thought he was a goner.
Me too. I was really glad to hear that we had him tied up for another year, because he was just solid last year, you know. He looks brilliant, and then obviously, so you've got him in the engine room, and then you've got guys like McCowan and Cameron, you know, the attacking sense, and then we've got quite a selection of strikers now, so you know, I mean, obviously we've got Murray coming in as our top man, but you've still got guys like Main that offer a different dimension, you know, he's a bit of a powerhouse. Then the new guy Palmer Holden, he looks quite busy as well, you know, so yeah, I think we're in good shape.
Okay.
We've got a lot of guys that have got capability of shining.
What do you think of Curtis Main's hair? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. He looks like a new signing.
It looks weird, eh?
Yeah, he does.
It's kind of like there's a film with Vin Diesel. I think it's called Guilty or Not Guilty. And if you look at the cover of it, he's got balding hair, and it just looks weird. Yeah, it's fucking weird. So I think he's kind of the same.
Yeah, he always had that sort of pea-head sort of look about him. You know, he always had that skinhead. So I was surprised that he's actually got hair. You know, but you know, fair play to him.
Yeah.
You know, he wears it well.
Yeah, he does. We're going to have another few podcasts coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to be looking for some guests to appear on the podcast. Specifically, I'm looking for folk who were at some certain matches. Now, we'll see if you've been at some of these matches, Bono. Okay. So, were you at the Hearts game in '86 when Albert Kidd scored?
I was, yeah. I can't remember it that well because I was really young, but I mean, I remember all their fans being in tears and, you know, on the pitch and all that. It was a really mad day. I'd never seen anything like that in my life.
It was the most intense.
It's one of my earlier memories.
Yeah, definitely. Next game was the Aberdeen game on Kenege's debut.
Yes, it was at that. With all the other blonde wig brigade.
Yeah, 3,000 of it. It was magnificent.
And I remember that morning, my father had come in and said, "We're going to Aberdeen today." He said, "We've just signed Kenege and he's making his debut." And I have to be honest, to my ignorance, I wasn't aware of what a big deal that was until, you know, he sat there and explained that he played with Maradona and all that kind of thing, and then started getting quite excited. And the fact that he came off the bench and scored a subliminal wee goal, brilliant. And then let's not forget Benetti's 20-yarder, I think
it was just on the edge of the box, was it?
On the edge of the box, yeah.
Brilliant chip.
Yeah. That's the first time we spoke about that goal and no stuck 5 yards on it.
That was like Jimmy Grady's 40-yarder at Paradise.
Yeah, that's right. I was at that game as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing.
So that's not actually one on my list because I was not going. You can't pick too many Derby games.
No.
So I thought the only one that we could really do is the Dundee Derby. So I've got.
I'm afraid I wasn't at that one. I didn't manage to get a ticket.
So I managed to scrape a ticket that night, and I was actually in the main stand. Do you know in those little seats where your fucking legs are crunched up?
That's horrible.
I think that's how I've got a bad back.
Right.
And I spent that glorious moment celebrating with this guy next to me, the Kim Ivers.
Yeah,
we were best mates for that fucking next 7 minutes or however long it was to the end. Like,
unbelievable.
It's magnificent. The final game I was going to look at as well was the Dumbarton game when we won the league.
Yes,
in 2014.
It was at that game. Kyle Lennon's fingernail save.
Magnificent save.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I was at that game. I actually took a wee divot at Dens up the road with us that day as well. Only because I know they were away to relay the pitch. But yeah, I think I put that up at my brother's house. I think there's still a wee tough to that.
Have you got any other wee things with Dens that you've got over the years?
Not really, mate. No.
I tell you what I've got. Oh, is that the dog?
Somebody's dog.
Dog's outside. There must be an Arab outside. Well, Bono's just going to go and see the dog. Right, so the item that I've got is a bench for the Provy Road. Remember I used to have that old benches?
Yeah.
So when they were knocking down the stand, or when they were building the two new stands, my pal Davey Nay, he went up and got our benches. So I've got, I think is it blue and white I think I've got? It might be blue and red, I'm not quite sure. But it's pretty cool. So anyway, so that
you got a bit of that. That's amazing.
I've got a bit of the bench. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's in my dad's cellar.
Right.
Which I was wondering what it was for years, and he went, "I've still got your bench in my cellar."
That's brilliant.
That's what it is.
Well, that's a good thing to keep.
That is a good thing to keep. No very comfy to sit on. It's a good thing to keep.
No, I know.
So, if anybody did go to any of those matches, if you went to all 4 of them, even better. Get in touch with yourself. You can send us a message through Facebook. Or on Instagram, and that's at the Club 12 podcast. So mate, I'm going to wrap up for the day. Thanks very much for coming and being the first guest on the all new edition of the Club 12 podcast.
Anytime, my pleasure.
It's been bra.
Thanks for having me.
Bra. Hopefully we'll get a win at the weekend, and the podcast next week is cheery, which I'm sure it will be. And I'm still hopeful we're going to get another couple of signings as well. Do you think there's anyone else that we kind of need to? I mean, apart from maybe left back, maybe we need to be back up.
We possibly do need somebody to compete with the new guy, as I say. I mean, at least we know Robertson can play there, but that's not his natural position. I think we'll probably see him play a few different positions this year, like what sort of in a Jordan McGee kind of mould, like what he did last year. Which is always good. It's good to have guys that can play in different positions, you know. But yeah, I think we could do another natural left back at least.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget when we get guys like. You know, our central defence is looking good, but we've still got Robertson and Shaughnessy out injured, so it'll be like 2 new signings when they come back.
Yeah. I
think we've really missed our captain in the last few games of last season, so I wish him well in his recovery back to full fitness.
Ziad Larkesh. That's
rolls off the tongue.
That's the guy's name. Yeah, I don't know why I missed it. Do you know what? I think I missed it because we never looked at the loans coming in, because never really spoke about Palmer Holden either. He's a big fucker, eh?
He's huge. Yeah. We looked at the loans that had left, and then the permanent signings that are left, and then who we've signed. But no, we never looked at the loan signings. But he does. He comes with a good background, you know, good pedigree, and apparently he's quite well thought of. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, cool.
And come on, the D.
On the D's. So thanks very much for listening to the Club 12 podcast, and we'll be back next week. Cheers. Goodbye.
Bye.